We are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Week Unloaded. As usual, I'm your host, Rich White, and don't really have much of a topic for this week because been in Harrisburg and really haven't been paying attention to the news that much. Been occupied with the little, you might get the idea from the logo there on the right side of the screen. We were at the Great American Outdoor Show, so that took up most of the time that I had usually would have been looking at news and stuff. So what we're going to do, first of all, there I got 5 shorts that I've put up so far. That's about it. That's all I really got as far as video this week and from the show. Which there's a reason for that, but I ain't getting into that right now. But yeah, if you haven't seen those 5 shorts, go check those out. Um, got a couple of Smith and Wesson uh, revolvers that are new that they had there at the show, and 4 different Mossberg shotguns that are new for this year. You may have seen videos on those from SHOT Show, but got a couple of shorts on the shotguns. So, and then got one from Future Forged, which I also have a video from a couple years ago at SHOT Show. I mean, Great American Outdoor Show with them. So, yeah, get a chance, go check out those shorts. But if you guys have any questions about what was happened at the show, what we saw or anything, feel free to ask. I guess that's what we'll do tonight because, like I said, I really don't have anything else. Let's see who we got there on the YouTube side. We first was Pat Gratz Attic, then Ron 2A Matters, and Chris from the 740. And I don't know if Chris made it to the show or not. If he did, would have been after we had already left. So I don't know if he said he was going to try to make it. I don't know if he did. Did you make it over to the show, Chris? But the show seemed different this year. There was a different vibe. And vendors I talked to kept saying the same thing. There was a different vibe this year. It just, I don't know, felt, I don't know how to put it. It uh, just felt a little more restrictive somehow. I don't know how else to put it. But then there was a lot of vendors that are usually there that weren't there this year, which kind of threw the vibe off a little bit too, I think.
Well, they thought someone else was in charge this year of it, the venue itself.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Amy in the background. She was just saying that somebody said that there was a different person in charge or people in charge of the venue this year, and that a lot of people think were saying that might have been why it was off too.
Well, they had to wait to get their stuff when they got there to register. Remember, they couldn't get the stuff sent to them.
Mm-hmm. Chris says he just got home this afternoon. Okay, cool. What day did you get there, Chris? Because we left Thursday. So, Pack Rats asking, was it like shot all suppressors? No, it wasn't all suppressors. You had Silencer Co. was there, and there were a couple other smaller companies that had suppressors. Diamondback had their suppressors that they're coming out with there. But yeah, it wasn't wall to wall suppressors or anything along those lines. But one that really surprised me because for the past few years they were a co-sponsor of the event. Not being there this year was Walther. That was a shock that they weren't there. At least I didn't see them, and I don't think they were in the literature in the program they give that you out every year. in the back, there's a list of all the exhibitors, and Walther wasn't on the list of exhibitors, and they weren't on the list of exhibitors on the website. And sure enough, unless I'm completely blind, I did not see Walther Booth there this year, which was odd. Usually they're there. Chris said he was there Thursday at 1 and was there for a couple hours, and then did Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I had a problem with a member of one member of our team that decided that she wanted to get sick Tuesday night, so that kind of threw a monkey wrench into how some things went Wednesday and Thursday. Didn't really get much done this year because of that, but not not much you can do about that. I mean, things like that are going to happen. People get sick. That happens. But still got to talk to some people, just not on camera because I was expecting to have more time. Yeah, Black Green wasn't there either. Yeah, yeah. Because Chris said, yeah, Walther wasn't there, and Black Green wasn't there either. And Amy was listing a couple other ones. Gun Nuts, they weren't there this year. Um,
The old time 6-shooter people.
yeah, the SAS wasn't there. The Single Action Shooter Society, one of the ones that do the cowboy action shooting stuff. They weren't there this year. Usually talk to them every year. Didn't get a chance to talk to them because they weren't there unless they were somewhere else besides the gun room. Yeah, there were a few people that we usually talk to that weren't there this year. Denny's Plant Based Journey just joined on the YouTube side, so evening. Yeah, Scott asks if One Horse was there, and then Chris right away answers that he did an interview with him. So yeah, if you want to see an interview with One Horse, go over when we're done here. If Chris, I don't know if Chris has the video up yet, but pay attention to his channel and you can go over there and watch that interview. They said I didn't get a chance to get any on camera interviews. I got 5 things shot, and they were all shorts. So check out those. And yeah, like I said, I wanted to do more Wednesday and Thursday, but that got KO'd again through no fault of anybody. Just things that happen. And Chris says the High Point cans are pretty awesome. I bought a backpack from High Point while we were at the show because I needed something better for my laptop, and they were the only ones at the show that had a bag that the interior was padded where you could safely put a laptop into it. So, and they only wanted $30 for it. So hey, why not? It's a nice backpack. Got a lot of pockets and stuff on it. So see how that goes. Maybe I can do a tabletop reviewer on it or something here later on. But yeah, it's a nice backpack. I forget what brand it was, but High Point was selling them. So.
Let's give it a good RA, sure.
So, anybody remember? You got any questions? Go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, I ain't got much. Now, Chris says he bought a lot of ammo and new Glock mags from UTG. UTG's doing Glock mags too now. Everybody's doing Glock mags, it seems. Guess what? Since they don't have a patent on their magazines anymore, everybody and their mother is going to be doing them. Which, considering all the different firearms that take Glock mags for that very reason anymore, crying out loud, Smith & Wesson has a gun that takes Glock mags. So, yeah, might as well, if you got the ability to do so, get into the Glock mag business. You know, It's just the way it is. Be nice if more people made Sig mags. I'll tell you that much. $5 each. Yeah, that was. If you got a Glock or firearm that takes Glock mags, yeah, I can see that being hard to pass up. That $5, gee, Christopher. Multiply that by 9, and that's what a Sig mag costs. Let's see. Got another tumbler. Bought one. Future Forged, the company that does the carbon fiber grips that I did the video a couple years ago and did a short on their booth this year. They were selling tumblers for $15, so I grabbed one of those. Yeah, Chris said he figured if they break during the review, you're not out or anything if they break. Not at that price. Jiminy Christopher, $5 a piece for a magazine. That's cheap. Boomstick that there on the YouTube side. Let's see. Yeah, not seeing any comments from on the Rumble side. Got one person on the Rumble side, 6 on YouTube, none on X. Usually the X people start rolling in at like an hour into the show. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know how long I'm going to go tonight anyway. Then he's like, yep, I wish I could find Sig mags at an affordable price. That would be awesome. The cheapest I've found Sig mags was $35 a piece, but that was through a law enforcement supply store, and you had to either be in law enforcement, active military, or a veteran, or you couldn't. I think other first responders too. I think fire and paramedic were also included, but you had to be one of those 4 groups to be able to buy from them. Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to check out EAA that much, sadly. I wanted to. Did joke around with them about them not having coasters this year. like, so yeah, that was different. Not seeing coasters. They were giving away dog tags this year, like military style dog tags. It's like they either gave up on the coasters or they gave them all to Gizzard. Packrat says he gave up on Rumble. I do get views on Rumble, so it's like might as well. And since I'm using their studio, it automatic my stream automatically goes there anyway. So you kind of dig in the new Mossberg, their new 590s. Those were cool with the inline AR-15 stock instead of like having the droop like they normally would. AR-15 stock normally gets when you put it on a Shockwave or 870. They'll slant at a downward angle. These ones are perfectly straight and in line with the top of the receiver. I like that. And like I said, you can see that in the short that I did with on them, and they got the AR-15 style safety on them, and by default take the AR-15 magazine. I mean, not magazine, pistol grip. Maryland Munitions gave 10% off all the ammo he bought if he could give him a shout out in the videos. Wow. Yeah, Maryland Munitions, if I remember right, they're not that far from where I live. Oh, that was Chris from 740 that said that for anybody who's watching over on Rumble or X. Yeah, it's a good deal. Then he said, yeah, Mossy is doing some good stuff. Bought one of their top end shotties a few months ago. I'm thinking about a few of their new releases too. Great stuff. Yeah, I want one of their I want one of those new SBSs that they have. Which, by the way, if you don't know, are based off of the guns that they had last year at SHOT that were British contract guns for the British military and law enforcement. That they were selling them for door breaching. They released a version of those for civilian market this year. Kind of cool. Pack Rat says he would like to try one of the new RIA backpacker shotguns. Is that folding one? Pack Rat? And Chris said that they were the only company there that had 338 ARC ammo. That's generally not a good sign when you're at a trade show and only one company has a given round that you're looking for. That's not good. The Mossberg 990s look kind of cool too. They had a what was it, 18-inch, I think, 18.5-inch one version of the 990, and then they had a one that's about the size of a Shockwave there at the show. Again, I got a short on the Mun channel. Boomstick says he hasn't shot a gun in 2 months, but he's making a point to this week. I can't quit yawning, but what else is new? Trying to see what else was there that was kind of cool. Oh, the one Smith and Wesson revolver based off of the 686 was kind of cool. I don't know if you saw it, Chris. It comes with the um, what am I trying to think of? The optic that comes with. Criminy. The aim point, the enclosed. Dang it, what the hell's the name of it? The arrow or something like that. Anyway, it's a 686 that comes with that standard with a 4-inch ported barrel, and it's got the extended cylinder release on it. I want that nice, really nice looking wood grips. I want one, but I know damn well that it's going to be expensive. Do they call it the 686 Spec Series R or something like that? But again, I got a short on it on the video. Don't know what the price is because they did not have a price on it. And the rep from Smith doesn't know what didn't know what the MSRP is going to be yet on it either. So, but I bet you anything you're with it coming with the optic and everything, you're probably looking between 15 to $2,000 MSRP if I had to make a guess. And then Smith and Wesson had the Model 350, which Take a guess what caliber that fires by the name of it. It's a, what is it, 7-shot 350 Legend revolver. In the short, I called it the monster revolver for when Bigfoot becomes a problem. A revolver that fires 350 Legend. Then he says he bought one of the ProTech SPX shotguns in October. It's awesome. Now with the 990s out, you better pick one of those too. Chris said he really liked the new M&P 22LR. I really didn't look at their semi-autos this year. I mainly was looking at the revolver. Mainly because when we were there, you couldn't get near their semi-autos. The Smith and Wesson's M&Ps and whatnot, that side of their booth was just packed. I wanted to go over there and look at those, but that just wasn't worth the effort to try. That was one of the few places when we were there that actually was packed. Was Smith and Wesson, particularly on the semi-auto side. The revolver side was easy to get into and film video and whatnot, but Justin Grimm's out there, aka Grim Reaper Reviews on the YouTube side. So, evening to you, sir. Speaking of SIG, got to check out the P365 with the Flux grip module that SIG officially put out this year. It's cool. I think I like the 321 better. But if you're wanting to carry it in a holster, net, the P365 one's probably going to be easier to carry. And it's got a 6-inch barrel, so I mean, is there Gary's out there on the YouTube side? Thing is, it's like $1,500 MSRP on the thing. So, but they probably got the Legion name on it and stuff. I wasn't really paying attention to see if it's marketed as a Legion or not, like the P320 version is. Rob D out there on the YouTube side says MMPs are beautiful to look at. I have a couple MMPs. I don't know if I would frame them as works of art, but they get the job done. Gary's like he used to be. Yes, Gizzard Gary's out there on the YouTube side as well. And he says he used to be a SIG guy until he got the Smith & Wesson bug. Then he says he's not changed the grip module on the X Macro. He really likes it, and the mags fit well. Said most of his SIGs had the Wilson Combat Grip. You have to be careful with grip mods, mag fitment. Yeah, I got the Wilson Combat Grip mod on my P365, and I'm not changing that anytime soon. You get all these companies that come out with these aluminum grip mods and whatnot for it, the P365 that cost almost as much as what a new pistol would. And it's like, yeah, I'm not spending that kind of money on there. I paid with the influencer discount or no content creator discount. That's what they call it. Direct from Wilson Combat, I paid I think $45 plus tax for their grip module, which is like 10% of what an Icarus grip module cost. So yeah. Hub says in reference to the comment about the MMP next to Glock, it's a work of art. Yeah. Ozzy Orsborn is out there. He said he used to be a SIG guy until he got a CZ75 P01. Yeah. Gary says he doesn't hate SIG. He just thinks other manufacturers are innovating more. Denny says same Wilson on his 360 P365s plus 2 mag extensions and trigger and spring mods. They shoot very well. One of the 365s is a little light for carry though. Yeah. The only change I made to mine was putting the Wilson Combat Grip module in it. And Rob talking about the MMP again, saying they look pretty good for the price range and work well. I wanted to check out the new metal frames that they're coming out with in different calibers, but didn't get a chance, like I said, to get in and get over to the semi-auto side. They were just a bunch of people there. Yeah, I figured that's what you're talking about, Denny. He says he means the trigger's a little light. Great at the range, though. Packrat said he's still a 1911 guy. Gary says clock innovation involves putting a new generation number after the name. Yeah. Ozzy says he's got several holsters made for the P365 ready for adoption. And Denny says he really wants to get a Legion 226. Yeah, 226 is a good pistol. I think Legion's overhyped a little, but that's just me. What else? I'm trying to think of what else that was there. Quite a few. There were a few different RV companies. Gary says G-Webs told him that 9mm is just a fad. Yeah, that's what he keeps telling us. You know, G-Webs tells us that 9mm is a fad, and Patreon in the Dark just keeps telling us that sights and optics are a fad. I don't think either guy's right. there were a few RV companies there, or trailers anyway. Companies there. Tell you about the knives at Goals, or not Goals, Great American Outdoor Show. Didn't really see a lot of knife companies this year. Not like you usually do. I mean, there were a couple of vendors that are knife sellers, but knife companies in and of themselves, there weren't a lot. Like individual knife companies, Civivi was there, but they're always there. Cal wasn't there. Didn't see him. Didn't see Seth either. So yeah, they had 3 people work in this Civivi booth this year that I don't know. I don't know who they are, what their names were. Didn't get the chance to talk to them because their booth was busy all week. The days that we were there, anyway. But yeah, didn't see Seth or Kyle at the Civivi booth. Trying to think what other actual knife manufacturers were there. Not just people selling knives, but the actual manufacturers. Not many. And if there were, they were spread. The knives were spread all over the place. They usually are. Yeah, Gizzard says they sent the B team. Nice. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Last year, Kyle was there, but he had to leave early. But Seth was there. Seth's the one I bought my knife off of last year. He's the one that sold me the banter. But yeah, he wasn't there, and Kyle wasn't there. So there's some woman there, some black dude, and then some other guy who I didn't recognize. So like I said, every time we walked by their little booth there this year, they were busy, so didn't get a chance to talk to any of them if I wanted to. No settings of Melissa Backwoods. Did run into West Virginia Guns and Goats while we were there. So that was cool. Got to talk to those guys for a little bit. Was talking to a guy from Fox News off camera in the media room. But yeah, there was some big media there this year. Fox News was there. ABC was there. So yeah, that was different. Because usually don't see big media companies. Usually it's YouTubers and whatnot, not actual broadcast media. No, I haven't seen or heard from Rob in a while. Not Rob D, but Black Cat Outdoors. But yeah, no, have not seen or hide or hair of RL for a while. Man, let's think. What else? What else? Rob D says news reporters are 3-faced. Yeah, I didn't see the ABC person, but the guy from Fox, he's Fox Nation guy, I should say, but yeah, he seemed pretty cool to talk to. He knew his gun stuff, So I guess on their on the Fox Nation side of things, that they have actual firearms reporters and stuff. So yeah, he knew what he was talking about when we were talking. So he was hanging out the one day we were there waiting for the guy from the one media guy from the NRA who was there to, because the NRA guys were taking the big media guys around, showing them the different things. Which, not surprised the big media would get that kind of attention. You know, get a guided tour of where stuff was. I think Amy wants a Bronco Raptor now. They had one of those at the Ford location. I don't want to call it a booth because it wasn't a booth, but she was checking out the Bronco Raptor while we were there. Like, you, you do realize that's like 75 grand, right? He was like, what? Like, that's a $75,000 vehicle. She's like, no way. I was like, look at the sticker. Still cheaper than a damn Jeep. MSRP on the Jeep Gladiator for base models like 75,000. So yeah, it's no wonder Jeep's doing all these lowering of MSRP by 9 grand on everything. Now we were talking off the record, Rob. We were just bullshitting. We were all waiting in the media room for the representative to get back. Some of us were waiting to get our damn media credentials. Well, we were all waiting to get our media credentials, to be honest, because you got to sign in and get your media credentials. And all there was a bunch of us in there just BSing while we were waiting for the media guy to get there. Because for some reason on Monday morning, they decided that they were only going to have one person in the media room checking people in, and he just happened to be giving the guided tour to ABC News while we were there, all waiting. Packrat says he wouldn't get a Bronco until they put a V8 in it. I believe the Bronco Raptor does have a V8 in it. Rob says, next thing you know, Rich will be on TV kicking a dog or something. No. But there was like 10 of us in there waiting for the media guy that morning. Usually they have 2 or 3 people in there, but no, not Monday. Didn't see any protesters outside either. So, yeah. But yeah, this year the show just had a different feel to it. I don't know if Chris is still out there or not. I don't know if he got that same vibe that something just felt different. But yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember how many vendors it was that we noticed weren't there. Amy said something about she had counted 10 of the usual vendors that we talked to that we couldn't find anywhere, and they weren't in the listings. So yeah, it was definitely a different vibe this year. And some of the vendors, if you wanted to be in the gun room, they said that they had increased the price on them. Packrat said it has a turbo V6. And if it's the same turbo V6 that's in the Ranger, that's a good engine. The Ranger Raptor, that is. I don't know if they could fit the Coyote in there. Yeah, the Turbo 3.0. Wonder if they put the performance package that you can get on the Ranger Raptor. Gives it 500 and some horsepower, and I forget how much torque. Stupid cats. You know what I didn't miss when we were gone? The damn cats. I did not miss these damn animals one bit while we were gone. It was nice and quiet. Didn't really miss the damn dog either. I'm not an animal person, people. Honestly, I get annoyed with animals real quick. Animals are okay if they're owned by other people. Was there anything else that really stood out? Got to look at the AR-15 that High Point's got their name on. Yeah, Packrat say you looked it up. They both have the same 3.0. Yeah. Rob said, yeah, okay, Rob. Uh-huh. Justin says, making trucks with the V6 is just ridiculous. Go back to V8. Well, we're talking about midsize. The midsize trucks always were a V6. think the only one that came with a V8 was the Dodge, and they don't even, which would be Ram now, and they don't even have that on the market currently. So, but your Chevy S10s and Ford Rangers, they always were a V6. The You get up into the full size Chevy, Dodge, or Ram, excuse me, and Ford F1, the F-150, uh, the crap, I can't remember what the hell they Chevy calls their trucks right now, but the Chevy, the Ram, and the Ford, the full size, they have V8s available, and all of them. Packer says, "You wonders where High Plains is getting their forgings from now that Anderson's gone." They weren't buying Anderson. They had High Plains had bought their own company. They had bought a company that did AR-15s. I just don't remember which one. Yeah, Ram brought back the Hemi. I don't know if it's available in everything yet, but yeah, they're also putting the Hemi in Jeep Wrangler. There's a Wrangler that's about to come out, or come out next year's product line, that's going to have a Hemi in it too. I think it's a 362 or something like that. Hemi. So they're not just bringing the Hemi back in the Ram line, but also they're putting in the Jeep line too. Ford is pushing to have your vehicle report you to the police for speeding. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody that's pushing for that kind of thing, though, lately, since they got all these computerized things. Justin said he owned a dog of a Colorado Z71 with a 3.6. It was terrible. Yeah, depending on the year, the Colorados weren't very good. Now, when they had the diesel in them, those were pretty good. Packrat asks a question. He says, "Your Muslim neighbor asks you to stop cooking pork on the barbecue. What's your response?" I ignore him and just keep cooking. Rob's saying, "Good news is the start-stop shit should stop in 2027." You talking about where if you stopped at a light, the engine cuts off so to save gas, and then once you push down an accelerator, it starts again. You can turn that off. You just gotta go through the menu and, and the settings for the vehicle, and you can shut that off. It's not hard to do. And Denny said he had a 2012 GMC Canyon with the 5-liter H2 engine in it. That was a great little trip. And then he bought a 2023 Colorado new and really loved that truck. Been lucky because both of mine rock. Yeah, and they're both the same truck. I mean, the GMC Canyon and the Chevy Colorado are the same truck. For those that don't know, who may be listening. Packer said that was a question on X. Yeah, you see those kind of questions pop up from people from time to time on X. I think Squib had the Colorado with the diesel in it, and he loved that thing. I don't know if he still has it or not. I haven't talked to Squib in a while. He texts me every so often, but I haven't talked to him in forever. That'd be Squib Load, if anybody's wondering. Every time we start talking about vehicles, he talk about how good his Colorado with the diesel was. Rob said the credit for that system has been removed by Trump, so the manufacturers won't have a reason to use it, considering most people don't like it. It really didn't affect the miles per gallon any at all. Did a little experiment with it on and with it off, and resetting the trip calculator on the truck. And, oh wait, no, that was with the Escape. We did that with the Escape. Turned it off and on, and then reset the trip calculator each time, and the miles per gallon were almost identical. So it was like, it really didn't do anything. If it's saving any gas, it's minimal at best, a fraction of a gallon. Completely pointless. Justin said he's heard good things about the diesel on them. I'm going to assume the Canyon and the Colorado, since that's what we were talking about, having the diesel. But then they went and killed the diesel. You can only get a gas engine in them now. Packrat said he has 2 cars with the auto stop. Hated it. You can turn it off, but you had to do it every time you started the car. So that's what I like about the Escape we had and the Maverick we have now. You turn them off and it stays off. It does not turn itself back on. I don't know if that's just Ford that's set up to where when you turn it off, it remembers and keeps it off, or what. But you're not the only person I've heard say that it turned back on again. We've had 2 Fords that had that, and when we turned it off, it stayed off. It didn't turn back on. So yeah, I don't know. Dang it! Now I forgot what I was going to say. Made me lose my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I wish Ford would bring the Ranger Super Duty That's to the U.S. It's only available in Australia, and it's supposed to have a really good diesel engine in it. Packard said one of the cars was a Toyota and the other was a Chevy. Yeah, it was. If Ford had the Ranger Super Duty here in the U.S. and I had the money, I would be tempted to buy one of those. Those look really cool. And like I said, they get people that own them in Australia rave about how good the diesel engine in those things is. But yeah, Ford says they have no plans on bringing that over to the U.S., which uh, sucks for one thing. But it doesn't surprise me because they want to sell the F-250 Super Duty. And then he said he just makes it part of his startup process, turn it off as he buckles up and gets the sound system rolling. It's no big deal. Yeah, but you think with everything else that they have that a vehicle can remember on startup, like driver seat settings, your radio presets and all that kind of stuff, they could have that where it would remember whether you had it on or off or not. You know what I mean? I mean, if Ford can do it, why the hell can't the other companies? It's just another thing you have to do to get when you're starting up the vehicle, I guess. I mean, if you get used to it, you get used to it. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's not a big deal, but it's still something you'd think that with everything else that a vehicle is able to remember, that they would be able to remember if you had the whatever system they call it. I forget what Ford calls it and whatnot, but you think that would be something that the truck or car, van, whatever you have that has that system on it would be able to remember you having turned off. And we didn't pay any extra for the feature to be remembered, Rob. Then he said, we buy the F-250 Super Duties for our techs in the field. They are great in many ways. Says they do have issues with the front end walking all over the road. We beef up the front end and new tires. And then he says, yeah, he would prefer it to allow them to turn it off and stay off. You can program all kinds of things, but you can't program that to stay off. Weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. That wasn't 2020. That didn't come. They didn't start that until 2018, 2019 model years. I think is when that started. Because we had the 20. Our Escape was a 2019, and it had it. We had a 2016 Fusion, and it didn't. So I'm thinking that probably started like 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. Yeah. See that if you're using the F-250 Super Duty for your guys in the field, that'll be a perfect example of where the Ranger Super Duty would probably be an even better thing for you guys. You know what I mean? Because if all you're doing is having your techs use it to drive around in the field, you're not towing anything with it or anything. The smaller Ranger might be a better fit, but for some reason Ford just doesn't want to bring that over to the U.S. I guess they're afraid, like I said, that they'll lose money. I'd buy one, like I said, if I had the money and they brought that over here, I'd buy one of them. You probably don't want to hurt their F-150 sales either, because the Ranger Super Duty can tow as much as an F-150 with the Coyote. Yeah, that's what Dodge is saying, that they're going to be bringing back the Durango. And Ram is supposed to be bringing back the Dakota at some point too. So if they were smart, they would bring the Rampage in, give the Maverick some competition, especially since the rumors are that Hyundai is discontinuing the Santa Cruz. So there's not going to be any uh, competition for the Maverick. Denny says he's starting to get Rams now because they're so much cheaper. Until something breaks, and then Rams or like Jeeps are expensive to have things fixed on. And Danny says if they would bring back the diesel 4x4 Colorado, he'd trade his in today. Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that's kept me from buying anything from Stellantis, aka Chrysler, Jeep, uh, Dodge, Ram, is how much it costs if something needs fixed on one of those things. They are ridiculously expensive to fix things on. Packrat said he's seen some pictures of the spy photos of the new Dakota. Then he says the new Toyota that is supposed to be a competitor for the Maverick looks like it will fall apart and not handle actual truck use. Yeah. If Toyota were smart, they would beef up the Hilux so that it would pass federal safety standards and import that. They'd probably sell 100,000 of them. Then he says also with the Ram, so much of the process designed in the system are subscription based. Says we won't pay for all that extra junk. Yeah. It's like, what is it, Tesla? you got to pay a subscription to have your heated seats work. Like, are you out of your damn minds? Rob says new vehicles are bad investments. Better off getting or keeping something old, which is getting harder and harder to be able to do. There's not a whole lot of the older vehicles that are still around. No, we've had that discussion before. And if you do find one, the person wants a ridiculous amount for it. There was a guy on Facebook Marketplace, like it was like a week ago. I was got an email because for some reason I keep getting emails from Facebook Marketplace. I've never used it. Where somebody was selling, it was a 98 or 99 Chevy pickup truck for, well, I think he wanted 25 grand for it. It was like, are you out of your goddamn mind? And then he says cash for clunkers was the plan to get rid of a bunch of the old vehicles. They want you to buy a new vehicle every 5 to 10 years with all the junk in it they can control. There was one person on Facebook Marketplace. All they had was a body and a framing for. I'm trying to remember I don't remember what vehicle it was, but they wanted 10 grand just for a body and a frame. Packrat says if they would make a diesel electric vehicle that uses a system like trains, that would be a ticket. That's what I don't know if you've heard of the extended range electric vehicles. Um, Ram was supposed to be coming out with one. I think they killed it because nobody's been buying the electric trucks, really. So I think Ram killed the idea, but that's basically what they were going to do with the extended range electric. Basically, you could plug it in and charge your battery, or you could put fuel into the truck, and it had a small engine in it that all the engine did was act as a generator to power the batteries for the electrical system. But I think that, well, last I heard, I believe they killed the idea because, like I said, the electric trucks aren't selling. Yeah, the Ram Charger. This is what they were going to call it. Then you got the the hybrid plugins, which basically will do the same thing. But not everybody's hybrid is a hybrid plug-in. M. Gabriel just popped up in the YouTube chat, so evening. Well, around here, Rob said the electric's way too expensive. Around here, there's nowhere to charge them. We would have had to have another 240 electrical line put in just to run to the parking in the back to charge the damn thing. Oh, they weren't selling before the rebates thing was stopped, Rob. The electric trucks never really sold. Then he says the Dakota is supposed to be back in 27, 28, but the base price is supposed to be 40K. If they really wanted to stir up, it'd be 30 to 32K. Or, yeah, that's about what the Ranger's base price is. 30, 32, if I remember right. So, yeah, that wouldn't be the question for Dakota to have that as a starting price either. The Ranger's starting price might be 33, 34. But yeah, in that range, is where it should be. Yeah, there are probably a million. Then he says there are probably a million people in this area, and there are very few places to charge an electric vehicle. It makes no sense out there with the long distance between everywhere. Yeah, that's where a vehicle like if you're going to get an electric like the Ram Charger that they were supposed to come out with would make because you could keep the vehicle going using um, the little engine that's in there that as a generator to power the electrical system. Just you put fuel in it just like you would any other vehicle with a gas or diesel engine. And that's why they called it an extended range electric because the engine extends the range on the vehicle. And you don't have to worry about plugging it in to charge it. Rob said just seen a story about the city bus fleet being down because they can't handle the cold. Yeah, that's one thing people don't consider about electric vehicles either. Extreme cold will drain your batteries. And then he says, "Yep, but if their starting price is 40,000, that means the loaded it is 50,000. It won't sell. They have to be competitive with Ford and Chevy." Yeah, I mean, if the Ranger Raptor, which is the top of the line for the Ranger, is like 50 to 55,000. So if you're starting at 40,000 with the Dodge or the Ram, excuse me, and you have the what the hell's there's Trail Boss or something like that there's Trail Boss Chevy. Shit, I can't remember now. But anyway, if you do that tier level with the Dodge, it's going to be 5 to 10 grand more. So they're pricing themselves out of competition with the Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. You got to remember the Toyota Tacoma too is in that price range. Packard said he had a Tesla for a while, and when it was hot, it took forever to charge. Then he says when he's ready for the next vehicle in probably 10 years, probably go with the Maverick or a car in retirement. Amy loves her Maverick. It's her truck. I can't drive. I'm not allowed to. So she does all the driving. She loves that Maverick. Rob says most people don't want to pay extra for a vehicle that's harder to use. like I said, for an electric vehicle here, we would have to put in our another 240 line from our and run that out to the parking we have out back because you're not gonna be able to park that. You're not gonna be able to charge it in front of the house. It's gonna have to be done in the back. And yeah, it's just the price to pay for that, and then the extra on the electric bill to charge it. So I said if I were ever going to get an electric vehicle, it would be one of the ones that has the damn engine as a generator on it. There's no way I'm buying one that's strictly plug-in. Ain't no damn way in hell I'm doing that. What makes it even better is Joe Biden one of the last things he said when he was president was that he wanted every armored vehicle in the military to be electric by what was it 2035. Like, are you kidding? You know how much weight that would add to a tank when you factor in that the Abrams is already like 70 tons? Packard said for a while Ford was paying for a home charger station. Yeah, but that was only 110 or a 120. That wasn't a 240. So you weren't going to get the your that wasn't going to be capable of rapid charge. That was going to be one of them overnight chargers, not the one it takes like half hour to fully charge. Which right there is another reason why I would never want an electric vehicle. I don't want to sit there waiting a half hour for my vehicle to refuel. When with a gas or diesel engine, you can have that done in a matter of minutes. Rob said he bet he wanted the batteries from China too. Well, that's the problem. These rechargeable batteries, that they have in these vehicles, that's where they have to come from, or at least the components that are the material that they're made out of has to come from China because China's the only one right now that's producing this stuff. That's one of the reasons Trump wants Greenland. So that we could start mining those kinds of heavy metals and stuff because they got it on Greenland. There's mines and stuff on Greenland to do it. Denmark isn't doing any of the mining. It's just sitting there. And Denny says, "Yep." And you can imagine you could only go so far in the tank and then have to have a huge diesel truck and trailer with a massive generators come into the battlefield and charge up overnight. Yeah, really. Vanessa Kitty just popped up. So, hi, Vanessa. Yeah, and like Packard said, they do come from China. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why Trump wants Greenland, is so that we're not reliant on China for the battery materials. Rob says, so when the batteries get damaged, they'll destroy the tank. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. You know, Denny says much of the minerals needed were also available in Afghanistan, and we basically handed it over to the Chinese. Yeah. Before I went live, I was watching a video on one of the apologetics channels I watch, and they were going over and commenting on a video that Patrick Bet David just did on how poor basically different Muslim countries are compared to everybody else, and why and basically asking why in the world are we allowing people from these countries to come into the U.S. And one of the things he showed, Patrick Bet David showed in his video, was how poor Afghanistan is. The Chinese are robbing them blind on the mineral rights. It's absolutely crazy. The average, not mean, average income in Afghanistan is $4,000. You know how many billionaires Afghanistan has? None. None. Not one. Packard said he's heard that Tesla is working on new battery technology. It's supposed to be iron based. Well, one thing speaking of Tesla thing, because of Elon Musk owning Tesla, there's also news that came out that he put out on SpaceX that yes, he confirmed they are concentrating right now on building a moon base. We talked about that. I don't remember if it was on this show or on barbecue show. We talked about that the one night, but yeah, Elon Musk confirmed that yes, they are right now. Their concentration is on building a moon base, and that they would launch any Mars missions from the moon itself. That you would shuttle from Earth to the moon and then from the moon to Mars. Yeah, then he says they destroyed their infrastructure, so the Chinese come in and throw food at them, and the people give them everything to get it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Packrat says he saw that interview. The one with Musk talking about building the moon base. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the Patrick Bet David video? Yep. Then he said he saw that too, where Elon is planning the moon base instead of Mars right now to build the base and then build out the the Mars options. Yep. Yeah, the reasoning makes sense if you think about it. You go to, it's going to take less fuel to launch a large spacecraft from the moon than it is going from Earth. How is resource competition for ice on the moon going to go? I don't know. Ron Wayne's out there. He's said he might as well. There's already a Dollar General up there. Dollar General's everywhere, man. Those things are like rabbits. They pop up everywhere. There doesn't even have to be a town in the area, and boom, there's a Dollar General. Out in the middle of a cow pasture, boom, there's a Dollar General. And I say that because I've seen that. M. Gabriel says he's reminded of ice pirates. Considering the temperature on the moon, probably could build an ice mountain on the moon. Lunar ski resort, open year round. I forget what cartoon I was watching one time. They went into the future or something, and there was a moon base, and they had a ski resort outside the bubble that the moon base was, or the colony on the moon was inside of, and you had to wear spacesuits to go skiing on the ski resort. Man, I'd be scared to go to the Antarctic, Rob. The Thing is there. You know, I don't know if you've seen John Carpenter's documentary on called The Thing, where the monster was killing off the scientist at the science station down there on Antarctica. Yeah. Then he said he saw a meme with the Ready to Build shopping center with Dollar General, McDonald's, and a Starbucks being dropped by parachute. Packer said there was a question on X. Would you be interested in living on the moon or Mars? Well, Elton John says Mars ain't the kind of place to raise a kid. So I don't know. He says it's cold as hell. And a reminder, when we're done here, stay on the channel on YouTube and watch the 5 shorts I put out from the Great American Outdoor Show if you haven't seen them yet. And Gabriel says, let's just wait here and see what happens. Rob says he's seen that and the blob, the birds, the mist, the fog. He says he's seen them all. Rob says he'll stay on the ship. Probably the safest bet. Maybe. Stay on the ship, and the next thing you know, you're on the Nostromo, and that didn't turn out too well. Yeah. M. Gabriel says ice on the lunar South Pole be split into hydrogen and oxygen for rocket fuel. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, build a, you can, in theory, build up a rather large uh, polar region on them, basically, with lots of ice built up on the moon. Packrat says he's too old to do something like go into space. Then he says you guys can go to the moon. He's staying in Texas. Where's your sense of adventure, Denny? They took away you guys' wrenches and gave you what looks like a shield instead. I like the wrench better. Driving the roads in the oil field is adventure enough. Yeah, dirt roads are always fun. Rob says, could be missing out on some great technology. Speaking of technology, I guess we can talk about more stupidity from Starfleet Academy. Oh, man. I was watching a review video for this week's episode, and some of the cadets were sent over to a ship that was supposed to be destroyed, but clearly wasn't because it was in one piece. And what made this ship special, it had an experimental singularity drive. You know, for all you Star Trek nerds out there, like Ron Wayne, you already know that the Romulans had perfected singularity drives. Oh, longer than humans had warp capabilities. But yes, that was the big thing this week. This experimental Federation ship with an experimental singularity drive. And keep in mind, okay, in Starfleet Academy, the Romulans had joined the Federation by this point. This is like 1,000 years in the future.
Are you sure?
Let's see. Somebody just jumped on. Ah, it's Mr. Gizzard Gary. You there, Gizzard?
No, I'm not.
Well, your volume's really low.
Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me check. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Any better?
Much better. I can actually tell what you're saying now. Before I could tell you, but not what you were saying.
No. Well, I wasn't saying anything important anyway.
Okay. So
I was going to see how you could go by yourself. You made it. Oh, an hour and a half. That's not too bad.
yeah.
Not as good as roll call. He did a 3-hour live stream a week or
Hey,
so back.
I've done 2 hours on here by myself before. And then somebody always ends up joining. So
Oh.
but yeah. M. Gabriel says singularity drive, it's like a hybrid. No, the singularity drives work off of miniature little black holes. Basically that's what they do. They create a black hole and they run their ships off of that. But yeah, apparently that was a super secret thing for the Federation, even though by that point the Romulans had joined the Federation, and that's what the Romulans ran their ships off of. So instead of the Romulans taking over when, as we know from previous episodes, and talking about the reviews videos on here before, the Federation, when they lost dilithium, and the Klingons, when they lost dilithium, instead of the Romulans, who were left from when Romulus blew up, taking over the galaxy, they decided to join the Federation instead and not share their singularity technology. The show makes no sense. which is funny because you got these Star Trek review sites that say that it's a hit and everything, but then when you look at the numbers for streaming stuff over the course of the week, it doesn't even crack the top 10. It's getting beat out by stuff that's been off the air for like 5 or 6 months now. Nobody is watching that crap except for reviewers, I bet. To be honest, I'd rather watch the review videos that make fun of it. They're talking about roadways out there. Then he says none of these shows make sense. In their defense, they are shows, not historical documents. Galaxy Quest reference. Yeah, but you still would expect them to make some kind of sense, Denny. Packrat says he wonders what Gene Roddenberry would say about, oh, excuse me, the new Star Trek. If Gene Roddenberry saw any of this, he'd be spinning in his grave. This is ridiculous. You got one guy who's a villain on the show who's supposed to be half Talaxian and half Klingon, and he doesn't look like either race. It's just absolutely stupid. Oh, and the Klingon with the two dads and mom. It's official. He is gay. That that was something that was not this week's episode, but last week's episode. But since I didn't do a show last week, we didn't get to talk about it. But yeah, the Klingon dork is gay. Ron, Ron says that reminds me he needs to pick up the new remote control. He's been finding them tasty here of late. Oh, like the fat retarded idiot on the in Starfleet Academy who swallowed her communicator. Yeah, just think though that they had things like communicators and video screens and so on that are all reality now. Even scanning for temperatures and blood pressure, etc. Yeah, keep all this stuff that's supposed to be futuristic in the Star Trek universe we have now because because people were inspired because they saw the stuff on Star Trek. Smartphones and tablets, they were used in a next generation. The Motorola flip phone was inspired by the communicators from the original series. Packrat asked, "Did anybody ever see the series How Star Trek Changed the World?" Yes, it was what on History Channel, if I remember correctly. Yep, watched it. And Gabriel says all those shows are in interspecies relationships. Dude, I kid you not. Over half of the characters in Starfleet Academy are half breeds of some combination. It's like after the burn, which destroyed all dilithium and pretty much killed warp travel for most people, everybody started interbreeding with other species from other planets that would be extremely hard to get to without warp drive. Again, there's very little on this show that, from the reviews that I've watched on it, that make any damn sense from anything from the rest of the Star Trek universe. Of course, you can say that about all of Kurtzman Trek, to be honest, because you know Discovery, where the burn in and of itself makes absolutely no sense. We've talked about that before. Ron says outside of the Kobayashi Maru, he couldn't care less about the Academy, especially after my reports on it. Well, remember, this is the Academy like 1,000 years into the future, Ron. This isn't Starfleet Academy when Kirk and Picard and all the others were going through the Academy, where they had a class of thousands of students. Now you got a class of like 30 students and they're all freaking retards. You got one cadet whose race is holograms, you know, a computer program that could be anything. They could design themselves to look like anything. What does this hologram design itself to be? A short, fat black girl who's stupid as hell. A hologram that somehow gets hit with phasers and falls over. That was something else that happened in this week's episode, by the way. She got shot by somebody with a phaser like 4 times and falls over. How does something insubstantial get hit with a phaser and fall over? Ron says, yes, that just solidified the fact that I would positively never watch it. No, if you want to watch anything having to do with Starfleet Academy, I suggest watching the reviews on YouTube from places like Nerdrotic or Desperoo or Critical Drinker. Their reviews are probably much more entertaining than the show itself is going to be.
Sounds like I'm better off just rewatching old stuff.
Yeah, if you want to watch Star Trek, watch the old stuff. If you want to watch Starfleet Academy, just watch the reviews.
There's so much of the original series I haven't seen in probably 10 years, 20 years or better. It might be fun to watch it all again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I go back every so often and I rewatch things. It's like I'll go every so often. I'll go back and I'll reread old comic books. Like right now, I'm reading the old Iron Man stories that were back from when it was in what was it? Before it was even a separate comic book. Iron Man was a separate comic book. I can't remember the name of the damn comic. It's Tales of Strange or something like that. That it was in way back in the early '60s. I'm reading those right now. It's always good to go back and watch the old original material, or read the old material, stuff like that. Rob says they don't even try anymore. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's all about inclusivity to the point that their inclusivity is causing things to happen that make absolutely no sense. Like a half Klingon, half Jemadar. How the hell does that happen when the Jemadar don't have sexual organs? Did the founders all of a sudden decide, hey, you know what? We want to make the Jemadar able to procreate.
Guess what I got yesterday, Rich?
What did you get yesterday?
A PS4.
A PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Wow. You're one generation behind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't need the latest and greatest.
What games
Gotta
did
ease I gotta ease into this so far.
what games did you get?
Well, so far I've got Red Dead Redemption 2 and Fortnite loaded on there.
You need to get Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't the first one before you play the second one.
Let's see. I was told differently.
I've got both. I would play the first one first. Actually, the Red Dead Redemption is actually the second game in the series because there was Red Dead Revolver, but that game is so obscure nobody knows what it, nobody has played that. That was like on PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. Yeah, Ron says PlayStation 4 is still a solid. Yeah, PlayStation 5 will play PlayStation 4 games too. So
I
they went
got a
back to being
feeling
backwards compatible.
this was a used one that belonged to my son-in-law, and I got a feeling that it's got some clogged air vents because when I was playing with it earlier, it sounded like there's a jet engine about to take off over
Yeah,
there.
you
So
you may have to take it apart and clean it. There's videos online to show you how to take it apart. I never got around to really playing the second one. I was having trouble seeing the damn aiming reticle for the guns because at the beginning you're in that winter background area, and I just could not make out the reticle from the snow because my way my eyes are. A white reticle on a white background doesn't work well when your vision isn't very good. The first one, I got the poncho and the mask that makes it where nobody can, where basically you break the law and the sheriff's posse doesn't come after you, and I'm just going around hacking people with a goddamn machete. I just went crazy doing that stuff. Ron says Red Dead Redemption 2 online is the funnest in his opinion. I was like sitting, but in the first one, I was going around doing that, chopping people, basically Jason Voorhees in the Old West, and setting trains on fire and stuff. And kids are just sitting there watching me play, cracking up, laughing. Me running around doing all this evil shit. It's like, seriously, this is funny to you? Well, I had pretty much beaten the game at that point, Ron. I just had like one mission to go. And I was like, screw it, I'm going to do something stupid. And I put on the mask that makes it where the authorities don't come after you. And I just went totally just started destroying everything, setting buildings on fire, trains on fire, just killing random people with a machete just because they were there. Yeah. Fun times, fun times. Get the sheriff's posse chasing you, and then you put the mask, the bandana face mask thing on, and then they all of a sudden they disappear. They're not there no more. It's like they got beamed up by the alien or something. But it is a Rockstar game, so I mean, this is the same people that put out you know, shit. What the hell's the name of the game now? God damn it! The one everybody's waiting for him to put out the 6th version of. What the hell's the name of the damn thing?
I don't know.
God damn it! I can't think of it now. Yeah, drawing a complete blank. Oh, Grand Theft Auto. I mean, Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2 are basically Grand Theft Auto in the Old West. Yeah. Simpsons Hit and Run was like Simpsons version of Grand Theft Auto back on the PlayStation 3. I think that one was. Denny says he's out. See you tomorrow on Gary's show. All right. Have a good night, Denny.
Evidently, I'm sending him a Chick-fil-A gift card tomorrow
Yeah,
night. How
that's what he
about
said. Yeah,
that?
that's what he
Let's see
said.
if he's right. I probably ought to schedule a show. I haven't even done that yet.
If he is, he should start his own religion. He's more of a prophet than Muhammad if he wins. And no, I'm
I
not
don't
the first
know.
person.
Take me 10 minutes for you to mention Muslims in
I'm
here.
not the first person to bring up Islam tonight, Gary. I forget who it was. I think it was Packrat out in the chat that did earlier.
I can't drink, so I can't do shots every time you do it. So I'd take a drink of water. How about
Yeah, we're
that?
like half hour into the show or something earlier, and Packrat brings up the Muslims. So, did you watch any of the shorts I put out from the show?
No, it didn't come across my feed.
I put out 5 different shorts.
Really? Oh, I'm gonna have to go find them. I don't know why YouTube isn't giving me notifications on that stuff.
Yeah, got 2
Maybe I'm
from
not subscribed to you. I better check and make sure I'm subscribed to your channel.
got 2 from Mossberg, 2 from Smith and Wesson, and 1 from Future Forged.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to you. I mean, your shadow band, I tell you.
Wouldn't surprise me. Well, the
What
one
the hell are
Mossberg,
you doing with your finger on the trigger of a revolver over here?
yeah, it's not loaded. I'd already.
That doesn't matter.
It
Keep
does when you're
your
trying to hold the thing,
keep
and it's.
your trigger finger off.
It
Keep your
was
finger off
actually
the bag
easier.
switch, man.
It was easier to hold it that way when I was trying to turn it to get into the video than to have my finger on the outside because of the weight of the thing and the balance on it. That's one of those revolvers where you're really supposed to hold it with 2 hands. The thing was not light. And I'm assuming you're talking about the Model 350.
It's a Smith and Wesson monster revolver.
Yeah, that's the Smith and Wesson Model 350. 350 Legend. 7 rounds of 350 Legend in that thing. $1,379 MSRP, if I remember correctly.
That's cheap.
Mhm. The only problem with that one is it's got the Hillary hole on it.
Yeah. Don't like that.
No.
They've
But
taken it off some, but not all of them, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, not all of them. It's like a slow process. They're taking it off of them little by little. But with that one being brand new, I don't know why they would ever put it on there to begin with. Because the other new one that I did the short on, they don't have the Hillary hole on that one. Of course, they don't have an MSRP on the other one either. Guess it's one of those situations where if you gotta ask, you can't afford it.
That's right.
I want it though. If any other one's probably gonna have an MSRP around $2,000. It's a variation on the 686 plus. Comes with the aim point with the arrow, the enclosed one. Optic.
Yeah.
Really nice looking wood grips on it too. Packrat said he still wants a BFR in 4570.
I do too if they're giving them away.
What one was it? The Snob Fired one in 3030?
Oh, God.
I think it was the 3030 that he had in the video.
Yeah, what? That's an over-under, wasn't it?
No, he had the BFR and he had the BFR in 3030 in one of his videos.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. This was a while back.
Huh. I don't remember.
He said it wasn't as bad to shoot as you would think it would be. Remember that. That 350 Legend one intrigues me though. That'd be like shooting a more powerful 357. You got 357 Magnum, 357 Maximum, and now you got 350 Legend. An AR-15 round in a revolver. Which I guess if you're going hunting and you got an AR deer hunting, you got an AR-15 that you're using in 350 Legend, and you want a sidearm to go with it. Packrat said he has a friend who has one. They're not that bad. My issue is my arm. It can be painful shooting 44. I want one of those new Mossberg 590s too. Packer says, how about a 30-30? Out of a revolver? Yeah. Like I said, 44 Magnum is painful with my arm, shooting it out of a revolver. I don't know if I want to try one of the rifle rounds out of the revolver, to be honest. I might be game for 350 Legend because it's a smaller rifle round. It's not a full size. It's more of a intermediate caliber. But you get up into 30-30 and 45-70, that might hurt a bit. Yeah, 44 Magnum out of a Desert Eagle's nothing. That didn't bother me at all. But that's a gas powered semi-auto that weighs a ton. So the thing's not very much recoil for a 44 Magnum. Shooting 44 Magnum out of a Desert Eagle's like shooting 357 Magnum. It's not that bad. Yeah, Ron Wayne says outside of rifles, he's getting away from powerful stuff. Hand and arm issues are no joke. Yeah,
Yeah, wait till you get old and have arthritis and stuff like that.
I do. That's the problem. I had a messed up elbow that they still can't figure out what the problem is, and arthritis in my elbow and shoulder. So yeah, I know what that. I know. I know. Packrat says, remember, they are rifle rounds and you don't have time to build up the pressure. Yeah. True. There was a company a few years ago that was talking about making ammunition specific to the BFRs. I don't know if they ever did or not. That used a faster burning powder. You could probably do your own reloads specific to those as well. Packer says, at least you don't have to have both hips replaced. Knock on wood. Ron says, you don't have to be old. Fortunate for some of us. Yeah. You know there's some crazy person out there who's loading 4570 max load with fast burning powder for in their BFR. You just know there's somebody out there doing that. I wouldn't want to shoot it, but you know there's somebody out there doing it. The law of averages would dictate that. Probably void your warranty on the BFR. They're not that somehow I don't think they're made to do that. Handle that kind of pressure. Imagine the pressure that's coming out of the cylinder gap on one of those if you do that. Probably look like a World War II tank with the muzzle brake on it firing. Hackrat says he knows some that do. Well, like I said, I'm sure they're out there. I mean, like I said, the law of averages would dictate that somebody would. Taurus didn't have anything new this year.
Really? Because they've put out some new guns recently.
Nothing really new at the show. So maybe they've announced stuff and just haven't put it on the market yet because whatever they have at the outdoor show, they're selling.
Oh. Yeah, they might not have it on the market yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you can buy direct from them at the Great American Outdoor Show. And they give you a percentage discount off based on what year it is. This year they had a 26% off.
You should have bought something.
I ain't had the money to.
Put it on your credit card.
Shit. We're still paying down credit cards. From when she had to have her neck surgery last year. Probably would have had money to buy something if she didn't have to have her neck surgery last year. Mm. I was hoping to get more videos done at the outdoor show, but she got sick Tuesday night. Spent most of Wednesday in the hotel room. She wasn't going anywhere Wednesday. She was sick as a dog. Packard said they also had the BFR in 444 Marlin. Yep. Yep. Packard asked, was SAR USA at the show? No, they weren't. They used to be a staple, but they haven't been there the last two shows. They weren't there last year and they weren't there this year. Yeah, they were saying earlier there was a lot of vendors that are normally there that weren't there this year. They said the biggest one that caught a lot of people off guard was Walther not being there because they had been a co-sponsor. of the show for the last, I don't know how many years. And they weren't there at all this year. You'd go into the gun room and you'd see big banners hanging everywhere with Walther's logo on them and stuff, and they weren't even there at all, let alone being a co-sponsor. Cheapest food was still the Amish pretzel booth, or stand, I should say. Which is cool because their pretzels are really damn good. That's one of the high points of going to the show every year. Her getting sick, we didn't get the damn gyro this year. That's another one. The gyro truck they have here is really good too. Pack Rat's asking, do they always have the show in the same place? Yeah, it's always at the Farm Expo in Harrisburg. It was there before the NRA took over. That's where it's always been. I forget what organization ran it before the NRA, but like midway 2000s, some point, Pennsylvania was going to pass some kind of law or something, and it didn't pass. But the organization that was running it, because Pennsylvania was even considering the law, decided they were going to back out and not do it anymore. And the NRA stepped in and bought the show rights from that company, and they've been running it ever since. But it's still in the same place. It's in the Pennsylvania Farm Expo Center in Harrisburg, PA. It's a big facility. So
How big is it?
they could probably run shot from there if they really wanted to. It's a multi-story building, series of buildings that are connected by like little tunnels between the different areas. They probably could run shot. Might be a little bit smaller than what it would be out in Vegas, but they probably could run it from there. And you got the Harrisburg Convention Center. You probably have some stuff there too from it, but they probably could because of how this building is. Basically, they have their cattle sales and stuff there. Massive livestock sale and show there every year. No. Ron likes the eyes on the eagle. They don't freak him out like the cardinal, apparently.
It's not a cardinal sin, in other words.
Yeah. And how do you know it's got good eyes? You can only see one of them. We have no idea what the left eye looks like on that eagle. You could have a big black eye and all puffed up. We don't know. Yeah. The farm, they got a big arena in the farm center too. Where they have their dock dog competition every year and the lumberjack competitions in there. And then they have the whatever country music usual concert they're going to have at the end of the shows in there. And that's where Trump gave his speech a couple years ago, was in there. I mean, it's not a super huge arena, but you know, it's big enough to have a concert and whatnot, and a presidential candidate to give a speech. God, I can't remember. Was that last year or the year before when Trump was there? I think it was the year before. I think it's when I think he was still a candidate. Ron's asking, so what was the number one car that caught your eye there this year? Probably the new 590s from Mossberg. I really want one of those. And you got the 990s. Those were cool too. The new semi-auto. I didn't see the. Well, I didn't look at it anyway. I think it was there. The new Maverick semi-auto. I think they had it there. I just didn't bother looking at it. It's just another Turkish semi-auto. This one just has the Mossberg name on it. You've seen one Turkish semi-auto. You've seen them all, right? They all come out of the same place. The new 590s are kind of cool. I was describing it before you came in, Ron. Basically, it's got an AR-15 style stock and an AR-15 pistol grip, but the way that the stock mounts, instead of having that droop like you normally get with a 590 or a 870 with an AR-15 stock on it, it's straight in line with the top of the receiver. So, yeah, it's cool. Packrat says the 990 will be cool as an SBS. They do have a Shockwave style version of that you could tax stamp and turn it into an SBS. And it's specifically made, the 990 is specifically made to be used as a short barreled. Ron says, interesting. But yeah, the new 590 also has the AR, more of an AR-15 style safety lever on it instead of the Tang safety. It's got like an AR-15 selector switch on it. The 18.5-inch barrel version comes with an integral heat shield on it. The slide has M-LOK slots already cut into it on it, and the end cap, instead of having that little nubby sling attachment point that Mossberg is notorious for, actually has a quick release stock attachment point on it. I mean, not sling attachment point. You can get it either in the magazine, detachable box magazine, or your standard 2 magazine. Yes, it's Ambi Packrat. Fascinating. Live long and prosper.
Sorry, I got a cat that's decided that my lap is a good place for him to be right now.
But yeah, the new 590s are perfect for mounting a optic on. Like a pistol style optic. You can put one of those red dots on there and perfect for it. Yeah, they put the selector lever on both sides. So yes, it is ambidextrous, just like AR-15 with the ambi selector. And it's real easy to get to with your thumb to turn it off and on or off safe. Yeah, really nice. Really, really nice. Now the 990s, I don't remember if those were the Tang safety still, or if they had the AR safety on them. Have to look at the short I put up to find out. I can't remember right now. But yeah, the 590s come in either the 590M or just a standard 590 configuration. The M being the ones that take the detachable box mag, which I think hold 10 rounds, and the tube fed one holds 7 plus 1. Either way, you got a good ammo capacity. And the M, in particular, on the SBS model, 10 rounds out of an SBS shotgun. Why did I bother saying SBS shotgun? That's redundant because the second S means shotgun. It's a short barrel shotgun. And of course, the 590 is a pump action, so it's going to be a little bit more reliable with the mag feed, the detachable box mag, than what a semi-auto might be. But yeah, I do. With that said, I do have a semi-auto that takes a detachable box mag, but it's based off of this Russian AK series, specifically the RPK. Yeah, I do want one of those 590s, particularly the SBS one. Which, like I was telling everybody earlier, is based on the British contract guns that they showed at SHOT last year. I forget what they said. They made a change from the British contract gun to this one. I just don't remember what the hell they said the difference was. I don't think it was anything major or anything like that. There was something else about it, and I can't remember what the hell it was now. Oh well, it'll come to me later. Whatever the hell it was I wanted to say about it that I can't remember what it was now. Or I can go over and watch my short and see if it says on the placard. Would that be cheating to check my own video?
No, I've done it before on my own stuff. It's amazing how many people will watch my knife videos and they will ask, "What kind of steel is that on that blade?" And I go back and watch my video and I plainly say right in the middle of the video, like,
Yeah.
really? Did you watch it?
Did you actually watch the video? Yeah. I like the looks of that heat shield on the full size 590, the new 590. It's different. It doesn't look like your typical heat shield. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, they're cut for chokes, including the little one. It comes pre-cut for a choke. That's what it was that I was forgetting. Like the Shockwave, they're not cut for a choke. But these ones, you can put whatever choke you want in there. It's Mossberg style choke. So, yeah, Packard said the 990 has the tang safety. Makes sense because they're less of a tactical gun than what the new 590s are. That 590 short's got over 1,300 views. The other ones ain't doing shit. I swear there's no freaking rhyme or reason to what gets viewed and what doesn't. The 990, that's got the choke cut too. The little one, the Shockwave style. It's a 6+1 magazine, so it holds more than what the Shockwave does, if I remember correctly. And it's got the heat shield. Same style heat shield as the longer length of the new 590. Makes you wonder why they don't put it on the SBS version of the 590. They probably could. Yeah, the 990 is kind of cool too. They're both the ones that the 990s are both SBS configuration. The Aftershock SPX and which is the Aftershock is the Shockwave style, and then you got the other one you got to have the tax stamp for. It's a short barrel too. That's what the 990s gas system is specifically made for, to be used in a short barrel. That's what the difference between a 990 and a 940 is, in case anybody's wondering. The 990 is made for short barreled shotguns and Shockwave style shotguns. that aren't shotguns. Ron Wayne's sharing one of the shorts. Which one are you sharing, Ron? I did 5 from the outdoor show.
Must be the good one.
Which one's he calling the good one, though? Which one does he think's the good
Oh,
one? I don't either.
whichever one he's got linked. Click on that link, find out. Could be
Let's see.
Rickrolled too. You never know.
No, he's calling the 990 the cool one.
Oh, okay.
So he wants the 990. Does he want the Aftershock or the SBS? Personally, I want the SBS. No, Pack Rat's saying he wants the Serbu Super Shorty. It says totally impractical. Yeah, it is. It's totally impractical. Well, it's all of 3 rounds. It has what, like a 10-inch barrel? Some shit. Super short barrel on it. He says Mossberg, one you were speaking of at the time. I have 2 Mossberg shorts that we were talking about both of them. But it's the 990 that Ron posted. Another one that was really cool though is the other Smith & Wesson that I did the short on, not the 350, but the new 686 variant with the aim point arrow. That thing was really cool. I want one of those. And that one doesn't have the Hillary hole. It makes it even better. It's got the extended cylinder release on it and really, really nice wood grip. And like I said, it's probably going to cost a small fortune. But it's a really nice revolver. Ron's like, geez, sorry, just trying to help. Yeah, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see that 686 going for 15 to 100 to 2,000, to be honest. I mean, the price of that optic alone. How much do those damn optics go for? Can't be cheap. It's a name point. Acro. I keep wanting to say Arrow. It's the aim point Acro. Aim point's got MSRP on that at 617. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Still not cheap, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Submersible to 115 feet, it says. That'll be a cool optic for on the 990. which has the optics cut. Oh, the Future Forged, they're carbon fiber, Ron.
See, I was close.
Yeah, Future Forged makes their stuff out of carbon fiber. I have one around here somewhere. I just don't use it because it's the wrong size for my hand. But I do use their foregrip on my their one foregrip on my SBR. And they can make them. They're custom made. They can make them for you in M-LOK, Pickrel, or Tiny Dick or Key Mod.
The hell?
Oh, you haven't heard that before? That's a James Reevesism. He calls it he calls M-LOK Tiny Dick,
Wow.
or not M-LOK, the Key Mod, because of the shape of the. I'm surprised you haven't heard that before, Gary.
I had not.
No, not transparent aluminum. But yeah, you go to their website and they have directions on how you can take a picture of your hand, and then they can actually make that to fit your hand dimensions and whatnot. In fact, I even got a video on the channel about how they measure your hand that I did with them last year. So if you all go and search for that video from about a year ago, you can see exactly how they go through the process of measuring your hand to make one of their grips customized to fit you. And they have them for AR-15s or AKs as well. And they don't cost as much as what you would think either, depending on what model of grip you want. The one I want's like $95, which for a custom fit carbon fiber grip is not that much money. And they have a slew of different colors they can make them too. As you can see from the short I did on them, if you've watched the short, which apparently Ron did, since he's asking the questions, and so did Gary, since he knew it was skeletonized. Or, well, Ron said skeletonized. Anyway, yeah. The one I want's the one that has Moulin Levy on the back of it in gold. But instead of the green, have it be the thin blue line shade of blue so that it matches my foregrip on my SBS. And the owner of the company is a good guy. I talk to him every year at the Great American Outdoor Show. Yeah, you can get them in red. Ron says, I want a red one. You can get them in red. Futureforge.com. If I remember right, it's their website. So, yeah, you can go over there and check out and see what they got. I might have it linked in the video I did 2 years ago with them. and possibly last year's video. Have to go look. Videos. Yeah, here it is. That's 2 years ago. It's a video from 2 years ago. So let me see. Do I have it linked there? Yeah, I do. Okay. Here, let me share this. Copy. Are they edible? No, they're not edible. They're carbon fiber. I mean, I guess if you eat carbon and need a lot of fiber in your diet, they could be. You probably break your teeth though. But there's the link to the video from 2 years ago. It has the website in the description. Gary says we're yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Carbon based. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I
We'll
guess I
see.
could.
I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I guess I can put the video at the hand measuring tool while I'm at it. And they do that.
You can do whatever you want to.
Yeah. And there's the one on how they measure your hand. So that's 2 of the 3 videos I did with Future Forged. This year I just did a short because they didn't have anything new. Now next year he's telling me that they're going to have something game changing for the show. So I told him I'm going to hold him to that. Carbon units release V'ger. Yes. And it's Star Trek Online Seeker, the mirror universe version of V'ger. That you have to fight in the game, and V'ger comes to help. Then Seeker goes off with V'ger to learn how to be a more what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Friendly, I guess. Thing. What exactly would you call V'ger anyway? Almost godlike power, for crying out loud. So, which ones of the shorts did you watch? I know you at least watched one of them.
I haven't yet. No.
Oh, didn't you? You did.
Uh-uh. I told you I didn't get any notifications on them.
No, I thought you were watching it during the show. It says different comments.
That would be
Ron,
wrong.
Ron did. Ron did. I was going to ask you what you thought of the music selection, but you haven't watched them yet.
Hold on. Let me mute.
If they each got a different song. Ron says omnipotent android. Oh, no, they're not androids because androids are humanoid. They're not really android. Packrat says he never gets notifications from me. Yeah, I don't think YouTube likes me very much. They liked me once, but that was it. Back when they randomly, like 2 years after the fact, promoted my short on my Shockwave, and that went from like 150 views up to 20,000 overnight. You remember that, Gary?
Do what? I'm over here watching shorts.
Yeah. Remember when my the short on the on my Mossberg Shockwave went from like 150 views all the way up to like 20,000 some views overnight at one time?
Well, that'll happen sometimes. Don't happen to me very often.
That's the only time it's ever happened. Usually my shorts don't get any views at all. The the two shorts I have that have the most views are both Mossberg ones. And they're both Mossberg 590s. 590 Shockwave and then the new 590. Yeah, that thing went from only having like 150 views up to 23,000 views literally overnight. Packrat's asking if anybody got his notification today. Not that I can recall.
Okay, I've sampled all 5 of them so far. One of them, you forgot to get rid of the crowd noise because it's
Yeah,
really loud in there.
yeah, I know. I thought about re-upping it because it's not got a whole lot of. But yeah, it actually screwed up when I was uploading it because I had set it to where the crowd noise was gone, and somehow when it uploaded, it was still there. That was YouTube's screw up. I'm just glad the music didn't play too, because that was, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the one Mossberg video, and they had a
No, it's
ACDC.
the Future Forged.
Oh, the Future Forge one.
Hmm.
Because if you listen, I think the Mossberg one did it too. I think it was the 990 one did it too, but not as bad. Packrat, yes, I am subscribed to your channel.
Meow. Meow.
Ron says I could have posted one a day all week. I did. That's what I did. I didn't post them all the same day. At least I don't think I did. Well, I know I didn't post them all the same day, but I don't remember if I posted 2 of them on one day or not. I think I tried. I don't remember. I don't remember what days I posted them. But yeah, I know the one. I know that most of them were posted on different days. I can't remember if I posted both Mossberg ones the same day or not. I don't remember. Packer says, you know how it is when you're starting out. I've had this channel for 8 years now. Good Lord, yeah. Last month was the 8th anniversary, and I forgot all about it. So, yeah, it's like that when you're not starting out, Pack Rat. God. You believe we've been doing this shit for 8 years, Gary?
What's that? 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
8 and some change, yeah.
Yeah. Last month was the 8th anniversary. I forgot all about it until now. Holy cow. Wow. So, what did you think of the music selections?
Yeah, most of them were all right.
Most of them were all right. Okay, which one didn't you like?
Oh, let's see. Which one was it? Was it the 590?
Which one was on the? What song did I have on the 590? Is that the one? That's the one that had Avenged Sevenfold, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You don't like Avenged Sevenfold?
not my favorite.
They're one of my son's favorite bands. That's why I put them on there, and I like that song. But yeah, yeah. Speaking of, if you look, the front shotgun, they're showing it from the on the 590 video. The front one, you can see the selector on the left side of the gun, but the one in the back, it's facing the other direction. You can see the selector on the right side, so you can see that they are indeed ambi on the 590s. Those new 590s. Who was it? Pack Rat that was asking that earlier. Pack Rat's only been posting for 3 weeks, he said. She was more of a cyborg, though. He says, Ilya was an android. She was more of a cyborg. Gizzard says Riker would have hit it. Hell, man, Kirk would have hit it. Pack Rat said he had a huge crush on Tasha Yar.
Yeah,
What about
so
her
did
daughter?
Data.
Yeah, but what about Tasha's daughter, who looked just like her, only was Romulan or half Romulan anyway? What was her daughter's name? Sela, I think. Ron says Yeoman Rand was a looker.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Deanna Troy wore some nice outfits. Yeah, Ron spelled Ilya wrong, by the way. And the reason why I know is because she's in the mission where you got the quest chain where you got to take on Seeker at the end. Yeah, it's Ilya. I know. But there's only one L. Yes, I know it's Ilya. Damn cats. One radio station in Pittsburgh had at the time that Star Trek The Motion Picture came out, did a parody song of Donnie Iris's Leah. Instead of changed it to Ilya. Song about the movie. And she's still just as bald in Star Trek Online as she was in the movie. Still wears the same outfit, too. Packard says Data hit Tasha Yar. Yeah, that was already stipulated. Gary brought that up. Yeah, because remember, Data was fully functional.
It does worry you a little bit about the designer
Yeah, right.
to throw that in. It's like, what possible need could there be for that? Well,
Yes. What was Dr. Young's thinking? Dr. Song, what was he thinking? The actress, you mean, Ron? I think I read something about that where she didn't want to shave her head, but the amount they were paying her, she couldn't afford not to.
I'll shave my head for a movie anytime.
Yeah, she was a model. She was afraid it was going to ruin her modeling career.
Hair grows back.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, Freaky is in now, and there's all kinds of wigs out there. Get it done right, nobody can tell.
Yeah, but we're talking about back in 1977.
You know, they had wigs in 1977.
Yeah, but not like they have now.
We had some kind of freaky people in 77 too.
Oh, I know that. I was alive back then.
I
Not
was in
very
high
old,
school.
but I was alive back then.
I was a senior in high school.
I was 3 years old. Well, be quiet, you stupid cat. I'm getting tired. It's midnight.
Not where I'm at, it's not.
Well, you're in the past. Ron says she could have used a Jimi Hendrix wig.
Yeah, he wasn't using them.
Wasn't the actress Brazilian or something?
I don't know if she had a Brazilian or not. I've never
No, I
seen any
mean,
pictures.
isn't that where wasn't she like from Brazil or Argentina or
I don't
something?
know.
Or Bob Ross. I don't think Bob Ross was a big thing in '77. He came about more in the '80s.
Did you see the list of people that were named in the Epstein files that was released yesterday? And Janis Joplin is on the list.
How?
And Elvis Presley.
What?
Evidently, the list included everybody who was discussed.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what Democrats. They're going through saying Donald Trump was on the list this many times. They're counting any mention of anybody by the name of Donald as being Donald Trump. Because of the search program they used just searched Donald and came up with like a million different references in the file or whatever. And then when they broke it down, it was like there's mentions of like Donald Duck and other people named Donald and stuff, and they were just counting all the Donalds as being Donald Trump. It's like, seriously? Ron said that she was Indian from Mumbai.
Dot Indian, not feather.
Yeah. The more you know. This isn't NBC, Ron. Come on. You see where NBC started doing that shit again?
Mm-mm.
Like watching the Sunday night football game. I forget which one. I think it was the Steelers were playing somebody, and they had one of those "the more you know" things come up on Peacock. It's like, really? They're doing that shit again? They stopped doing that. What, in the '80s?
I hate any game that NBC Sports is producing because, well, for one thing, their streaming signal sucks. Their announcers suck. Uh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think it's time to call it a night. We've been doing this for 3 hours now. So
Okay.
gang thing you want to plug or say before we get out of here?
I got a show tomorrow, 9 o'clock Central. Everybody should watch it. In fact, it's might even want to watch it twice just to make sure you got it all. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. And since he won't tell you where, the Gizzard Gary channel on, let me see, you're going to do it on X, Facebook, and YouTube.
Gonna try anyway.
All right.
It may or may not appear on my Facebook channel.
All right. Well, thanks for being on. And thank you to everybody who watched. Don't think we got anybody to watch on X this week, which is odd. Yeah, Packrat says he agrees. Even his dogs are snoring. Yeah, it's getting late. So we will bid you all adieu for this week. And yes, if you aren't subbed to Gizzard Gary, do so and watch his show tomorrow night. And you might win something because Gary gives away stuff.
Denny said he's winning.
Yeah. Denny said he's winning, so we gotta watch just to see if he's a
been
prophet.
wrong before.
Yes, he has. Well, Packrat's wife Sheila likes to try and claim every knife you give away too.
She's won her share.
Yeah, she's won a couple. So anyway, on that note, have a good night, everybody. And as soon as I find this outro, we'll get out of here and we'll see you tomorrow night for Gizzard Show. Have a good night.